Coming up on today's edition of the Art Marketing Podcast, we're talking about attention, which was hard to get in 19. It's going to be harder in 20. We're going to talk about what the smart artist is going to do about it. And I'm going to proffer up a New Year's resolution for you and for me, for that matter. '19 is just about in the books as I record this, and that means a whole lot of things. One being, quite profound, the end of a decade. And that's pretty awesome, right? We don't get to say that all that often, not too many times in one's life, the end of a decade, the start of another. Now, regardless of the decade, though, what is everybody talking about? What is everybody thinking about? Just because it's the end of the year, it's New Year's resolution times. We're all thinking about them, aren't we? We're reflecting, we're pondering, we're wondering what individual lifestyle item we are going to work on this year and likely stop working on sometime a few weeks into Q1 as the goal fades away. Now, of course, I love the fitness one. And it's always one of the most popular. And every time I think of New Year's resolutions and the fitness one comes out and people are talking about they want to get fit and, take care of their diet and exercise more and all that jazz. I've got a buddy and he's got this idea. And I think it's a hilarious idea. His idea is he's going to start a gym, right? Now, his plan for starting a gym, a lot of gyms. How's he going to stay competitive? How's he going to make it? He's not even a fitness guy. This is his value proposition. It's going to be the monthly fees. His idea is to charge like $1,000, some outrageous fee, $1,000 a month, let's just say, per month, per membership. And here's the hook. Each time you come in, so each time you show up at that gym, scan your key card, whatever, the monthly fee goes down. It goes down. Do it enough, and your monthly fee goes to something super nominal, even lower than like a gym membership, like $20 or $30 a month or something. So no exceptions to the rule, aside from being able to pause your membership with either verifiable airline tickets and or credit card receipts from somewhere geographically other than your town, or serious health issues. Otherwise, it's strictly enforced. You're year committed, no show, you pay. And not a bad idea, actually, right? Makes me laugh. He always comes up with these ideas like that. That's a great one. Like that might actually motivate you to go to the gym if you knew you were going to pay $1,000 if you didn't show up. Hilarious idea, right? But the fitness one is profound, I think. And I think one of the reasons that I love it is it has to be regular and consistent. You can't just work out for a few months and reach your goals. You have to stay at it day in, day out, consistently all year long. And that's profound. That's important. Profound is how often I use the word profound. But the same holds true for your marketing practices. And that's an important one to remember, right? Like if you want to achieve your goals, greatness even, then you have to commit and stick to them all year long, to work at them all year long, especially as it pertains to marketing. So let's pivot to attention, as we always do. Not going to stop ranting about this one in the next decade, I can tell you that much. And the fact is, legitimately, it's getting harder to get and harder to keep it attention. I saw artists in 19 that took this to heart, did well, oftentimes way better than they even imagined. Saw artists that didn't, and they paid the price. Low sales, no sales. And I was, as I was thinking through this episode and attention especially, it's actually crazy to me how much attention, getting it and keeping it, mirrors our online business, and our online businesses, I should say. And it follows the same rules. What's the rule with new business? Only three ways, or not new business. What's the rule of an e-commerce online business? A business, only three ways to grow one. New customers in the door, increase how much your customers are spending, AOV. Get repeat business from your existing customers. Let's apply that to attention. Only three ways to grow it. New attention, new emails or social followers or phone numbers or addresses or messenger subscribers, YouTube subs, whatever. The second, you get your attention to spend more time consuming your content in the attention case. So you could say, put out more and better content. You're going to get your existing attention to spend more attention, more time. The third is what I want to focus on today, though. In the business aspect, it's get repeat business from your existing customers. In the attention aspect, it is keeping the attention that you have paid for, that you have earned, that you have achieved. Get them coming back again and again and again all year long. Now, I think there's more than one way to do that, of course, but for our purposes today, I want to laser in on a strategy of moving the attention you do own and rent from one venue to another. We're going to be moving the attention around, and not just move it around all year long. And this is no different than going to the gym. It's no different. It's the exact same thing. These analogies just pile up. To be fit at the end of the year, to be ready for your biggest Q4 ever in 2020, we're going to have to put in the quotidian work between now and then, the daily, weekly exercise sessions all year long, spread throughout the year. So let me highlight and articulate the strategy for you. And one more thing on attention first. I will articulate the strategy, and then we'll finish up with the resolution. And when I say it's getting harder and harder to get, it just is. It is. And I mean specifically, Facebook ads are not getting any cheaper. The costs are only going to continue to go up. It's getting harder. Email open rates, those are not going up. Your organic reach on any social platform and Google or any of the search engines is likely not going to grow on its own without work in 2020 or the next decade for that matter. Step number one, stop worrying about it. Can't control it. Coming to terms with it. And then saying to yourself, all right, then how am I going to plan to hedge for it? How am I going to beat it? Step two is going it and doing it. So let's start moving the attention we do own, the email addresses, the phone numbers, the addresses you own currently, like the addresses you have in your email book or your book, rather, your snail mail, plus the rented attention. By rented, your Instagram followers, your Facebook followers, your Messenger subscribers, and your YouTube subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. That's rented. You don't own it. Anyone can change the rules on you at any time, and there's not a doggone thing you can do about it. So what I want to articulate is a strategy, 3 parts. We audit what channels, this is part 1. We audit what channels we are marketing in and what we have available to us. 2, we commit to regularly moving the attention around. I'm going to explain that in a second. And step 3, we measure those efforts to the best of our ability so we can get better and improve. Let's start with an example, just so we can all be on the same page. I need two channels. So I imagine everybody out there, has and or is active or should be on these 2 channels. And let's say you've got an email list and you've got an Instagram account, right? Let's say you send a normal email. You're a photographer and you went tropical for Christmas. You just got back from Isla Holbox, just north of the Yucatan Peninsula in the beautiful Mexican state of Quintana Roo. You and your hubby even swam with the whale sharks. It was a great trip. You get back and you're going to update your followers with an email. It's going to be the best shots from the trip, and you're going to let them know they're going to be in your store, available to purchase. So you write your email. Hey, Patrick, Feliz Navidad from Quintana Roo. Here are a selection of my best photos from a wonderful Christmas in Mexico. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. And the email has, let's just say, a selection of photos. At the end, it says, cheers, Catherine. Okay, that's the normal email. Now let's send the email again, except this time we're going to attempt to move the attention we do own here, your email subscribers, around, specifically from your email list to your Instagram profile. We send the exact same email. It ends with cheers, Catherine. But let's just say her husband's name is Juan, because we're in Mexico. So cheers, Catherine. P.S. Cheers, Catherine. Cheers, Catherine. P.S. To see some of the behind scenes from the photos, and I'm hacking that completely. Let's just start this over again. The email ends. Cheers, Catherine. P.S. To see some of the behind the scenes photos from the trip and one amazing photo of Juan in the whale shark, then follow me on Instagram. You include a link to your Instagram profile. That's it. That's literally it. Before, you would have just sent the email. Now, you sent the email. You did all the normal things you were supposed to do in the email, and you attempted at the end to move your email subscribers onto your Instagram account. It's that simple. You attempted to move the attention you do own in your email list, in this case, to a rented venue, Instagram in this case. So that's it. It's really not that difficult. It's a pretty simple thing to do. And let's just say you're going to attempt to measure this, right? And perhaps, you have a good idea of some of the people that are on your email list, and you log into your Instagram account after you send this email. And let's just say that you got 3 to 5 or 7 to 10 new subscribers. You sort of recognize their avatars. You sort of know the names. You think they're on your email list. Great. Maybe 3 to 5, 7 to 10. Great. Guess what? That is a huge, huge win. Why? Just like one session at the gym or running or biking or whatever it is you do, it's not going to give you ripped abs or a perfectly sculpted derriere, right? It's going to start. It's going to be a start. It's going to be one little rep in what needs to be a whole lot of reps to get you fit and be in the fitness that you want to be. So if you do that, if you continue at that, if you methodically approach that, you constantly and deliberately, daily, weekly, monthly, move the attention from one venue to another, that's when it becomes a huge, huge, huge win. So that's how you do it. That's the concept. We're going to get into a little bit more. Where does it all start? It starts with an audit. What do you have in your marketing stack? We list them out. I have an email list and a Facebook fan page and an Instagram account and a snail mail list and a text message list and YouTube subscribers. Whatever it is, everyone's is going to be a little bit different, and that's A-okay. So now that we've audited everything, we know what all of our channels are. Now we know what we're working with. The next step is we commit to at least once a week at taking a shot at the attention you do have on one of those platforms and moving it to one of the others. Once a week. You commit early on once a week. You encourage your Facebook fans to follow you on Instagram. You encourage your email list to follow you on Facebook. You snail mail your list and let them know you're sharing your best stuff on Instagram. You DM your Insta followers one by one, the things that don't scale, and encourage them to get on your email list. The how you go about it is, in the IE, the one day you run stairs, we'll stay on the exercise thing. The one day you run stairs, the next day you ride a bike, the next day you do CrossFit, the next day a long walk with the dog, next day it's swim. It doesn't matter, cross-country skiing. What matters is being intentional about it and doing the work. After you're committed and you start doing this, and so you say, okay, I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to be intentional about it. I am going to move the attention from one to another. I'm going to do it all year long. Then you measure it, right? So now we know what it is. Now we've audited what we have on our stack. Now we started scheduling it. Now we started doing it. Then you measure, and you measure to the best of your ability possible. It's not perfect. Did I say audio back there? You measure. It's not perfect, right? Like you sent an email, you said in the email, hey, everybody follow me on Instagram. You got a bunch of followers, but you got some followers from some other places that day too. So you don't know perfectly. The point is you want to measure each one of these various different activities, even just in the slightest, to try and get an idea on what's really working and what's not. The stuff that is working for you, of course you want to do it again. The stuff that's not, you can drop and try new things. And you can try new things throughout the year, which is great. And it's not exact science, right? Some of them are going to be much easier to measure than others. But the key here is that you do just the slightest bit of documentation, right? I mean, let's say you post an Instagram story and you tell people to get in your email list. Hard to know for sure, right? Who knows who came from the Instagram story versus somewhere else versus organic versus your sister's brother's kid? No idea, but document it to the best of your ability, right? If you link from a Facebook post to Messenger, let's say, then you know exactly how many new followers you picked up. Again, the importance is the documentation. That's it. And the key here is to do that without making it burdensome. You loosely document what you did and how it went, and there's simple systems for this. And so you at least have a sense, again, of what techniques are working the best so you can repeat the ones that do. And that's it. That's the strategy. It's not that difficult. I mean, you can explain the whole thing in a couple of minutes, huh? Let's talk about why I love it and why you'll love it too, though. How much attention you have, both rented and owned at the end of the year, will dictate, is directly proportional to what your Q4 sales will be. That is just a fact. Seen that time and time and time again. If you move that attention around all year long, you're going to be in a much, much better place when Q4 comes, when your big sales come. Just when your big sales come, period. That's just fact. Omni-channel marketing, which I plan on covering a whole lot more this year, is going to be one of my biggest buzzwords for 2020 and the decade to come. Becomes so much more effective when you have more attention in these other channels. Now, if you're like omni-channel marketing, what the heck are you talking about? Have a podcast episode on this one already. So if you don't know what it is, I'll include it in the show notes. You can listen to it. It's only a couple back too. You can just go in your app, go a couple back. But omni-channel marketing at a macro is your greatest hedge at attention becoming harder to get and harder to keep because it gives you the ability to get so much more out of it. So we're going to be talking about that all year long, the omni-channel marketing. This plays a huge role. And, I use the word hedge. It's a hedge at attention getting harder to get and harder to keep, but it's so much more than that, though. It really comes down to ROI. Committing and running this all year long will help you get so much more ROI out of the attention you do have. And more importantly, you've busted your butt to get, or perhaps even paid money with ads, or traveled across the country doing art shows and put a fishbowl out. You worked that hard to get that attention. You owe it to yourself to get the most ROI out of it possible. And this is just a fantastic, phenomenal way to do that. So it works on so many levels. It is such an impressive technique. It needs to be committed to. It absolutely needs to be committed to. So let's get to the resolution. And then I'm going to get into some dog food. And I have one for you and for me and for your art selling cousin who lives in Poughkeepsie. Here's one for all of us. We all need to commit to doing this once a week at a minimum, all year long. And what you find, by the way, is once you commit to it and start once a week, it just, kind of like getting in the habit of brushing your teeth. The next thing you know, you're brushing them twice a day. And the next thing you know, you're brushing them twice a day and flossing. And it just, you'll end up doing it way more than once a week. But I want everybody to commit to once a week and turning it into a habit, making it a practice. And, a good system for this is use whatever you use for a calendar, or I don't care if it's the handwritten one or if it's a Google Calendar, Mac, whatever you use. Look at the 2020 schedule, and at least once per week, every week for the entire year, actually schedule this as an activity. You schedule it, You execute on it and you attempt to measure it after the fact. It's as simple as that. And, once it's on the calendar, go do the thing, whatever it is, email to Facebook, Facebook to Instagram. There'll be multiple drops in one, YouTube here, YouTube there, whatever it is. Get it on the calendar. Go back to the calendar entry a couple days later and put in there what you think you got in terms of followers. I got like +5, +7, +20, +50, +100, whatever you think it is. And just put it in there. And so you have a sense of what's working. And the measurement can be literally that simple. You schedule it, you do it, you measure it. Schedule, do, measure. Simple. So that's the resolution. That's the challenge. Are you game? Is the question. Are you game? What about dog food? So I do enjoy practicing what I preach. It is what I hope makes this podcast authentic, although certainly at times pedantic, likely today pedantic. But there's 3 goals that I have in this whole thing. And I really want you to do this. So how can I help in that regard? I'm also in business to sell memberships to our total art selling platform. So how can I do that? And lastly, I want to clearly teach this in a way that it's going to stick, So I've got my 3 goals. Number 1. What was my number 1 one? How can I help in this regard and really get you over the line? My team and I have created a Notion doc. For uninitiated, it doesn't matter. It's just like a Google Doc, okay? A more visual Google Doc, let's say. In it, we've created a large list of the various different marketing channels and platforms. Underneath each one of those headings, Facebook, Instagram, email, Messenger, all YouTube, Pinterest. Do we have Pinterest in there? I don't know. Anyway, in this list, it is filled with examples. You can literally copy and paste near verbatim, oftentimes with visual examples of others or ourselves doing this. You can copy them verbatim, slightly tweak the language to whatever it is that you're doing and your style and your art or your photography, and you can put it into practice. Reading it and going through it too. This is absolutely one of those activities where the creativity just builds upon the creativity. Oh my gosh, I could do this and I could do that. Oh, I could do that and that and that. Oh my God. You'll start realizing all of these opportunities that exist and everything that you're doing in your daily and weekly and monthly marketing practices where you can absolutely move the attention around. So I'm going to we already have created this amazing document and we are going to share it with you, which is going to be fantastic. Number 2, this is going to help me sell our total art selling platform. Why? Because it will allow me to properly articulate, I'm just slurring today, articulate and elucidate what all you get when you join. Why? Because this is what we do for our customers all year long. And with all of our marketing support, our customers tell us time and again that what they want is when it's time to orchestrate their marketing, the last thing they want to be doing is having to overthink things or let alone even think about them in the first place. They want a checklist. They want us to tell them what to do, give them concrete examples that they can copy and paste, and they can just run with it. So that's what this sheet will be. It's a fantastic way for me to give you a look behind the curtain and see whether or not these are the types of resources that you like. I know you will, though. Number 3 is the dog food part. I want to move you, our loyal podcast listener, off of the RSS feed or YouTube to become a Messenger subscriber, to get on our Facebook Messenger list, moving the attention around. So to get this amazing resource, and I don't say that lightly, it's cool. Trust me, you want it. You'll have to get into our Messenger bot. How do I do that? A few ways. There's going to be a link in the show notes or the YouTube description, depending on where you listen to this. You can Google or search YouTube for the Art Marketing Podcast to do that. So it doesn't matter whether you look in your podcasting app, you look in your YouTube app, or if you're on YouTube, or look in the YouTube description, or if you come to the website, you can Google the Art Marketing Podcast. There'll be a link in there. You click that, you're in the bot. Or you could pull out your phone, open the Messenger app, which, by the way, read an article today that it was in the top 10 most downloaded apps of the last decade. It was like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram were the top 4, by the way. All 4 owned by Facebook. Crazy. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, amazing execution on their part. Anyway, you can pull out Messenger. Obviously, everyone has it on their phone because it's the top 10 downloaded app of the decade. You can search for Art Storefronts, get into the bot. Once you're into the bot, you can type the word dog food, 2 words, dog food, and the bot will send you the link to this document too. And so you can have it. And the great thing about this thing is that we're going to continue updating it throughout the year as we continue to build our own practice of doing this. At Art Storefronts, you're going to see us doing it a ton, not just in this podcast episode, and really encourage you to do this all year. If you do this, if we do this, if everybody does this all year, by the time 2020 comes around, we fast forward, it's Q4, we're selling, you're going to do so much better. And there's no shortcut to it. It's really something you have to be doing all throughout the year. So really, really, really want you to do that. On that note, and all notes, thanks for listening. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday season. We're extremely grateful here at Art Storefronts to have you as a listener. We really appreciate your attention. And as always, have a great day.